So let's look at the tripod. The O'Connor has been the standard for so many years. And I have always been a big fan of the Cartoni. And it really comes to metrics. If I measure this head, it's only 9 inches. A 25-75 is 10 inches. Now you say, it's only an inch, Shane. Well, an inch is a big deal. When you're on a high hat or you're on a low hat and you're trying to get really low, but you still want to be able to operate the shot, having something that 1 inch is a big deal. Just like when you're on an individual and you just lower the camera that 1 inch to get a little more heroic, or you come up an inch a little higher and look down on them. This is a specific emotion that you're conveying with that camera height. So having something that can get a little lower is really nice. The other thing is, for the sound mixer, this is the one I love. Okay, I hear that sound probably 15 times on a film, where we roll camera, and action.
Do you want to be with me?
I love you.
And the person starts to talk, and all of a sudden you'll hear the operator realize that the thing was locked, and he hits it. You always hear that sound. With the Cartoni, there's never that sound. It doesn't make that sound. It's very smooth. There's no clicking, there's nothing that it hits. The other thing that's really cool about it is everything is from the operator side. If I want to slide the plate, I slide it from the operator side. If I go to the Cartoni and I'm operating on this side and I want to slide it, you see, I got to go around the camera, try to get this over here, try to slide this back in the other. Everything is done from the operator's perspective on this. You also have the ability to set specific balance, tilt, and pan. Okay, you have 1s and 2s and 3s on your O'Connor head. What we have here is, look at my counterbalance. I can tell my pan and tilts all from numbers. So it just makes it a little more exact. I just love the feel of this. For our cameras nowadays, this can take up to about 65 pounds. This camera is only 25 pounds. So we don't necessarily need the massive heads of the film days. So the smaller we can make it, the more compact, the more nimble, the lighter we can make things, it's always a good thing. And I also love their carrying cases. Their carrying cases actually have wheels. Well, I have to say, I've worked with many directors. And directors love the ability to just grab the camera and show me what he or she might want. All set up in a way that you can quickly go into handheld, that you can use, spider grips, or you got your move cam grips, all these different things. It kind of is what you like and your preference. Back in the film days, spider grips were king. This is how I rolled out. You're able to configure these things in almost any setup, and they have all different rod configurations as well. So you can go with the mini rods, or you can go with the wider depth. They spin and rotate. There's not a configuration that you cannot get in, and that's why I really love them. It wicks sweat. So when I was in New Orleans on into the Badlands, there was times when it was 130 degrees in like these tin shacks that we were in. My hands, it's just dripping sweat, and I'm able to really grip these very well, and it wicked the sweat. What I like about the move cam grips, it also has the sweat wicking ability, but it has this little area right here where it lines up with your palm. And what I do is they come like this, straight, But what I do is I loosen these and I rotate it ever so slightly in, because when I get into this configuration, I rotate it ever so slightly so I'm able to keep really tight. A lot of the times on movies, you like that handheld feel, but it's not like you want it all over the place. It's the kind of thing where you just want that feel of your breathing and the frame is just barely moving. And that is a very locked setup, and you can kind of stand there and your breath is moving. Or if you're going in for coverage, I'll put an Apple box and sit on that as well. And then there's a whole other style of handheld of where you're following people and moving with people that we'll kind of get into on how I like to roll out with that handheld.